Successful people have a lot of good habits. Yes, some of them are cliche, like getting up in the morning and putting a gratitude list, but some will change your mindset in a more mental, intellectual way. So, we're talking about those today. Hi, guys, I'm Aastha Atray Banan, and welcome to the fourth episode of my YouTube channel. This time, we're talking about 4 habits of successful people that will get you out of a negative mindset and put you in a growth mindset. That's where we need to be. First step is to deal with the past. Whatever bothers you, whatever baggage you're carrying, how can you move ahead if you have not dealt with your past? So you need to embrace it. You need to figure out how it makes you better. How can you use your past? For example, last year, in the last year, I've had a few disappointments. My podcast was cancelled. One of my books fell through, and I was very angry at that time. But I decided, what can I take from this? Maybe the book was something that I was never meant to do. It was not supposed to be in the plan of things. Maybe I was supposed to do a different book. Maybe I'm not supposed to collaborate with people on books. Maybe my podcast needed to be revamped. Maybe we needed a break. So I feel like also it prepared me, or it made me stronger, so that I can deal with failure. So nothing now, when things go wrong, I don't get phased, I don't get thrown off my path. I don't think like, oh my God, am I worth it? Am I enough? I don't get any of those, existential questions, because I am used to failure. Failure is a part of life. I've had a lot of successes, but I've had a lot of failures. And I see it like that. So I am dealing with my past. Things that bother me, I have talked to a therapist about. I have tried to forgive and forget, very important to do in life. Because if you don't deal with your issues, things that you do wrong, patterns that you have, or anything in the past that affects you, it is not going to let you move ahead in a productive way. So if it's a broken heart, it's a bad relationship, it's problems with your parents, it's maybe as you started a startup, or you started a business or a job that went wrong, figure out what went wrong. Talk to a therapist. What can you do about it? What can you learn from that mistake? What can you take ahead in life? What can you take, not what you don't want to take ahead? For example, I was listening to a podcast by Jay Shetty where he talks about how your parents affect you. So he's saying that why don't you think about the bad things that you think about when you think about your father or your mom? And then know and tell yourself that those are the things you don't want to take ahead. But maybe you learned something good from your dad. Like I have learned from my father that anything is possible, that nothing is really a problem because everything has a solution. Everything can be accomplished. I have internalized it, and that's how I live my life. So I think it's very, very, very important to deal with your past before you even think of making something of the future. And you can do that every day with therapy, with self-care, which we will talk about in the next episode. But deal with your past. Do not brush it under the carpet. Second thing is, learn a high value skill. So in my case, I'm a writer. I've been a journalist for 20 years. So my high value skill is that of reporting, writing, editing, making a paper. And I've worked on it every day. Now that I'm doing a YouTube channel, I'm trying to research on that as well. I listen to a podcast, at least 2 podcasts a day. I read a lot of self-improvement books, a lot of motivation books. I watch a lot of shows or TV, or a TEDx talk or something, because I want to improve myself. So how can my skill go from something that I'm naturally gifted with to a high value skill? Now this could be something that you're already doing. You could be in IT, or be an engineer, or be a musician, or be a writer, or be an influencer, but make it into a real high value skill. Educate yourself, move ahead, and don't think of where it will take you, but try and enjoy the journey of making into a high value skill. The everyday research, the everyday reading, the everyday podcasting, listening to a podcast every day. If you're doing a course of some kind, for example, if you're doing an MBA, now don't think of what will happen 3 years later when the MBA is completed. Enjoy the MBA. What are you learning? All these new things about figures and business management. Enjoy the process. So learn a high value skill. That's what successful people do. They hone their high value skill. And that's what we will do from now. Did you know that Bill Gates takes a think week off every year? Now, all he does in the think week is read. That's all he does. He does nothing. It's not a vacation. He's not sitting, on a beach. He's not having a drink every day. He is just thinking. It's a think week. It gives him time to read all the books that he wanted to, or newspapers, or just sit down and think of ideas, come up with like 5 things that he wants to do new. Warren Buffett still reads a lot. That's a part of his daily routine, is reading. I cannot stress on it enough. Reading is very important. Now, I know not everybody can read books. Read an article. Read some sort of paper that you subscribe to. Read a magazine. Get a New York Times culture subscription. Read something. India has a lot of great writing out there, even free writing out there if you don't want to pay for a subscription. But read books. Buy a Kindle. Books are half the price on it. Read a lot. Read about stuff that you want to be, how you want to see yourself, what do you want to become. Read about that. There is nothing, I don't think a person who reads can ever be not successful, I would say. Let me give you an example. We all love Friends, and there's an episode in that where Joey is at home alone and a guy who sells encyclopedias comes by, and he buys one of them because he can afford only $50. He buys it's a X, Y, or Z, or one of those. And later, he buys a volcano. I think he talks about Vesuvius later with his friends because he wants to fit into the conversation. I think reading is a very good way that you can know a little about a lot of things. So you can always have a conversation with people. You can always be at a party, be at a work thing, and have something interesting to say, which can be a conversation starter. So reading will obviously make you a very, very confident person as well. It's my top tip for being confident. If I am even any type of confident that I am, it's come because I have read since I was 5 years old. So please read. All successful people take out time every day to read, and so should you. The last thing that really successful people do is that they're compassionate to themselves and to other people. So they are not hard on themselves if something goes wrong. They take their own time to do things. They also try to understand another person so that you know that there might be a reason why someone behaved a certain way with you, or where their insecurities lie. I feel successful people also have a great way of dealing with people. I am leading a team right now, and every day I learn something new about dealing with people. And I have realized that there's a fine line between being compassionate or being a pushover and being, very strict. And that line can only be tread if you're compassionate, but you don't take any shit. So that's exactly what we have to be. We have to be compassionate with ourselves, and we have to be compassionate with other people. Do things at your own pace. Do not get upset when things go wrong. Maybe they're supposed to go wrong. Maybe they're supposed to teach you something. Maybe they're supposed to redirect you. Everything. I read this quote. A lot of people shared it on my Instagram this week. Was that I am behaving as if life is rigged to give me everything I need. So you have to think that life is rigged for you. The universe is doing exactly what it has to do for you. So if things don't work out, you miss a flight, you miss a train, you miss a job, maybe it's not supposed to work out. So think of it like that. Be compassionate to yourself. Love yourself. Be kind to yourself as you're on this journey to success. And it will come sooner than you think. Hope you enjoyed this episode of my YouTube channel. And please do leave a message about what you would want me to talk about. Like, subscribe, share, do all those things. And let me know if there's a particular video that you would like to see out of me. And I'll see you at the next video. Bye.